Welcome to Study Session 10, the Immune System. Introduction. Immunology is a study of the physiological mechanisms that humans and other animals use to defend their bodies from invasion by other organisms. The origins of the subject lie in the practice of medicine and in historical observations that people who survived the ravages of epidemic diseases were untouched. When faced with that same diseases again, they had become immune to infection. The human body has been built in such a way that it can fight some germs and overcome them. This study session deals basically with the immune system and how it works to fight diseases. Learning outcomes. At the end of this study session, you should be able to 1. Discuss immune system. 2. Explain the cells in the immune system. The immune system. The immune system is crucial to human survival. In the absence of a working immune system, even minor infections can take hold and prove fatal. Without intensive treatment, children born with a functional immune system die in early childhood from the effects of common infections. However, in spite of their immune systems, all humans suffer from infectious diseases, especially when young. This is because the immune system takes time to build up its strongest response to an invading microorganism, time during which the invader can multiply and cause disease. To provide immunity that will provide protection from the disease in the future, the immune system must first do battle with the microorganism. This places people at highest risk during their first infection with a microorganism, and in the absence of modern medicine leads to substantial child mortality as witnessed in the developing world. The immune system is a network of cells, tissues, and organs that work together to defend the body against attacks by foreign invaders. These are primarily microbes, tiny organisms such as bacteria, parasites, and fungi that cause infections. Viruses also cause infections, but are too primitive to be classified as living organisms. The human body provides an ideal environment for many microbes. It is the immune system's job to keep them out, or failing that, to seek out and destroy them. When entire populations face a completely new infection, the outcome can be catastrophic, as experienced by the indigenous Americans who were killed in large numbers by European diseases to which they were suddenly exposed in 1492. Today, infection with human immunodeficiency virus HIV and the acquired immune deficiency syndrome AIDS it causes are having a similar tragic impact on the populations of several African countries. The immune system, which is made up of special cells, proteins, tissues, and organs, defend people against germs and microorganisms every day. In most cases, the immune system does a great job of keeping people healthy by preventing infections. However, sometimes problems with the immune system can lead to illness and infections. The immune system is composed of many interdependent cell types that collectively protect the body from bacteria, parasite, and fungal viral infections, and from the growth of tumor cells. Many of these cell types have specialized function. The immune system is amazingly complex. It can recognize and remember millions of different enemies, and it can produce secretions, release of fluids, and cells to match up with and wipe out nearly all of them. The secret to its success is an elaborate and dynamic communications network. Millions and millions of cells, organized into sets and subsets, gather like clouds of bees swarming around a hive and pass information back and forth in response to an infection. Once immune cells receive the alarm, they become activated and begin to produce powerful chemicals. These substances allow the cells to regulate their own growth and behavior, enlist other immune cells, and direct the new recruits to trouble spots. Functions of the immune system. The immune system is composed of specialized cells, various proteins, tissues, and organs. The immune system works to defend us against hordes of microorganisms and germs that we are exposed to every day. In majority of the cases, the immune system performs an excellent job of preventing diseases and infections and keeps us healthy. However, in some cases, problems can occur in the immune system which can lead to occurrence of numerous illnesses and diseases. The immune system is the body's defense against infectious organisms and other invaders. Through a series of steps called immune response, the immune system attacks organisms and substances that invade our system and cause diseases. The immune system is made up of a network of cells, tissues, and organs that work together to protect the body. This entire system constitutes to its function, which are discussed below. How does the immune system work? When foreign particles or antigens invade the body, the various types of immune system cells work in combination to recognize and destroy them. The B lymphocytes are triggered in the process, producing antibodies, which are specialized proteins that block specified antigens. Once these antibodies are produced, they remain in the body, and if the same antigen invades the body again, they are already present to block the antigen. Hence, if a person gets a specific disease, that person will not get sick with that disease again. This is the principle used behind immunization used to prevent diseases. After an antigen is blocked by an antibody, the T cells come into action and destroy the antigens tagged by a particular antibody. T cells are therefore sometimes referred to as killer cells. Antibodies can also help in neutralizing toxins secreted by the microorganisms. They also help in activating a specialized group of proteins referred to as complement that help in destroying viruses, bacteria, and other infected cells. The body is thus protected against diseases by these specialized cells of the immune system, and this protection is referred to as immunity. The cells that are part of this defense system are white blood cells or leukocytes. They come in two basic types, which combine to seek out and destroy the organisms or substances that cause diseases. Leukocytes are produced or stored in many locations throughout the body, including the thymus, spleen, and bone marrow. For this reason, they are called the lymphoid organs. There are also clumps of lymphoid tissues throughout the body, primarily in the form of lymph nodes that house the leukocytes. Leukocytes, white blood cells, circulate through the body between the organs and nodes by means of the lymphatic vessels. Leukocytes can also circulate through the blood vessels. The immune system works in a coordinated manner to monitor the body for germs or substances that might cause problems. The two basic types of leukocytes are phagocytes. These are cells that chew up individual organisms. Lymphocytes. These are cells that allow the body to remember and recognize previous invaders and help the body to destroy them. The most common type is the neutrophil, which primarily fights bacteria. Other types of phagocytes have their own jobs to make sure that the body responds appropriately to a specific type of invader. There are two kinds of lymphocytes, the B lymphocytes and the T lymphocytes. T lymphocytes. These start out in the bone marrow and either stay there and mature into B cells, or they leave for the thymus gland where they mature into T cells. B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes have separate jobs to do. B lymphocytes. This is like the body's military intelligence system seeking out their targets and sending defenses to lock onto them. T cells are like the soldiers destroying the invaders that the intelligence system has identified. The functioning of the cells. Antigens are foreign substances that invade the body. When an antigen is detected, several types of cells work together to recognize and respond to it. These cells trigger the B lymphocytes and produce antibodies, specialized proteins that lock onto specific antigens. Antibodies and antigens fit together like a key and a lock. Once the B lymphocytes have produced antibodies, these antibodies continue to exist in a person's body, so that if the same antigen is presented to the immune system again, the antibodies are already there to do their job. Definition of the cells. Cells are the basic building blocks of all living things. The human body is composed of trillions of cells. They provide structure for the body, take in nutrients from food, convert those nutrients into energy, and carry out specialized functions. Cells also contain the body's hereditary material and can make copies of them. Cells have many parts, each with a different function. Some of these parts, called organelles, are specialized structures that perform certain tasks within the cell. Human cells contain the following major parts listed in alphabetical order. That is why if someone gets sick with a certain disease like chickenpox, that person typically doesn't get sick from it again. This is also why we use immunizations to prevent getting certain diseases. The immunization introduces the body to the antigen in a way that doesn't make a person sick, but it allows the body to produce antibodies that will then protect that person from future attack by the germs or substances that produces that particular disease. Although antibodies can recognize an antigen and lock onto it, they are not capable of destroying it without help. That is the job of the T cells. The T cells are part of the system that destroys antigens that have been tagged by antibodies or cells that have been infected or somehow changed. There are actually T cells that are called killer cells. T cells are also involved in helping signal other cells like phagocytes to their jobs. Things that can go wrong with the immune system. Disorders of the immune system can be broken down into four main categories: immunodeficiency disorders, primary or acquired; autoimmune disorders, in which the body's own immune system attacks its own tissues as foreign matter; allergic disorders, in which the immune system overreacts in response to an antigen; cancers of the immune system. Immunodeficiency disorders. Immune deficiencies occur when a part of the immune system is not present or is not working properly. Sometimes a person is born with an immune deficiency, and this is called primary immune deficiency. Although primary immune deficiencies are conditions that a person is born with, symptoms of the disorder sometimes may not show up until later in life. Immune deficiencies can also be acquired through infections or produced by drugs. These are sometimes called secondary immune deficiencies, HIV. Autoimmune disorders. An autoimmune disease develops when your immune system, which defends your body against diseases, decides your healthy cells are foreign. As a result, your immune system attacks healthy cells. Depending on the type, an autoimmune disease can affect one or many different types of body tissue. It can also cause abnormal organ growth and changes in organ functions. There are as many as 80 types of autoimmune diseases. Many of them have similar symptoms, which makes them very difficult to diagnose. It is also impossible to have more than one at the same time. Autoimmune diseases usually fluctuate between periods of remission, little or no symptoms, and flare-ups, worsening symptoms. Currently, treatment for autoimmune diseases focuses on relieving symptoms because there is no curative therapy. Autoimmune diseases often run in families, and 75% of those affected are women, according to AARDA. African Americans, Hispanics, and Native Americans also have an increased risk of developing an autoimmune disease. Autoimmune disorders used to be thought of as a genetic disease only. We now know that genetics plays a role in autoimmune disease, but environmental factors such as food sensitivity, toxins, infections, stress, and leaky gut also play a part in autoimmune diseases. Along with the causes of autoimmune diseases, we've also been able to determine other myths about our previous knowledge of autoimmune diseases. Summary of study session. In this study session, you have learned the following. 1. The immune system is crucial to human survival. In the absence of a working immune system, even minor infections can take hold and prove fatal. Without intensive treatment, children born without a functional immune system die in early childhood from the effects of common infections. 2. The immune system is composed of specialized cells, various proteins, tissues, and organs. The immune system works to defend us against hordes of microorganisms and germs that we are exposed to every day. In majority of the cases, the immune system performs an excellent job of preventing diseases and infections and keep us healthy. However, in some cases, problems can occur in the immune system which can lead to occurrence of numerous illnesses and diseases. The function of cell is also explained. Antigens are foreign bodies that invade the body. When an antigen is detected, several types of cells work together to recognize and respond to it. These cells trigger the B lymphocytes to produce antibodies, specialized proteins that lock onto specific antigens. Antibodies and antigens fit together like a key and a lock. The two basic types of leukocytes, white blood cells, are phagocytes. These are cells that chew up individual organisms, and lymphocytes, cells that allow the body to remember and recognize previous invaders and help the body to destroy them. A number of different cells are considered phagocytes. The common type is the neutrophil, which primarily fights bacteria. Other types of phagocytes have their own jobs to make sure that the body responds appropriately to a specific type of invader. Cells are the basic building blocks of all living things. The human body is composed of trillions of cells. They provide structure for the body, take in nutrients from the food, convert those nutrients into energy, and carry out specialized functions. Cells also contain the body's hereditary material and can make copies of them. Cells have many parts, each with a different function. Some of these parts, called organelles, are specialized structures that perform certain tasks within the cell. Human cells contain the following major parts, listed in alphabetical order. Things that can go wrong with the immune system. Disorders of the immune system can be broken down into four main categories: immunodeficiency disorders, primary or acquired; autoimmune disorders, in which the body's own immune system attacks its own tissue as foreign matter; allergic disorders, in which the immune system overreacts in response to an antigen; cancers of the immune system. We have come to the end of GCE 106. Thanks for listening.